There. Well, hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I have a snoring dog laying next to me, so I'm just going to apologize. My mic is muted, it says.
No, you're good.
Really? Okay. I've got a snoring dog next to me, so if we hear snoring, then it's Gabby. And so we are trying to get our guest attached to us. It's this on Instagram, so give us 1 second. Food.
It should be showing up.
It should. Are there spaces or underscores in there?
No.
Well, it's not.
Bring him on.
We're trying to get him, but we can't get his page to come up. Why won't it come up under Caru Pet Food? Adrian, what is your Instagram?
Instagram, Pamela.
Yeah, I'm logged on. I'm waiting.
We're logged on.
You're logged on? See if you can
yeah.
join our page, because we can't get your page.
It's
to come
Caru
up.
Pet Food.
Yeah, we're putting that in. It's not coming up.
Are you able to get on?
I did it on Facebook. I'm on.
We're on Facebook,
I need you on Instagram.
Instagram.
They're supposed to send me an invite. That's what I was told.
Apparently, Pamela said they're supposed to send an invite.
Yeah, we can't find when we're searching for your
Oh,
page and it's not coming up. So if you
Pamela's
can-
following up with Joey.
Sorry, folks, give us a second. This is that whole, you get an extra F in there.
Thank you.
This is that whole trying to do 3 channels at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, your Instagram account isn't coming up. I don't know why. Get out of the live and go back in.
Okay.
Sorry, folks. Surprise live.
Okay. Hang on.
And then in the live, out of the live, look for Cameron. Because I found him earlier today.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
I don't know why it's not coming up on mine.
Right. I'm just gonna make sure it can find it.
I just sent him an email.
That you're in on Instagram?
No, I'm in on Facebook.
Yeah,
I
but
just sent
they
Joey's-
can't get in on Instagram.
We can't find your account. It's not coming up. I don't
Can't
know why.
find the account. It
It's
won't
all
come up.
one word.
It's
I know.
all one
Joey
word.
found it on his phone. It won't come up on mine.
Okay, I found them.
You found him?
Yeah, I'm gonna follow him and see if that makes a difference.
Okay.
All right,
Technical support.
You got it?
Thank goodness.
here we go again.
Okay, we're trying one more time. All right, I'm live. Hi, Instagram. We've been trying to get in. We're trying to invite our guest. Give us 1 second.
A message from Joey.
Why does it not come up?
That is bizarre.
Working on
We even just followed and liked your page on the Instagram, and it still won't bring it up. We may have to post later to Instagram then. That is so bizarre.
No requests. So
Can you guys request to join Dr. Judy Morgan?
Can you request? Yeah, just trying.
Okay, she's trying.
He said he's working on
Try to request to join Dr. Judy Morgan.
it. I don't know how to do that, but I will try.
Requests to
New
join.
message.
Haven't gotten them yet. Oh, Instagram, bane of my existence. My daughter loves Instagram. I struggle with Instagram.
Were
Okay,
you
so,
go-
so can we just do the Facebook? I think he's having.
Yeah, we can
We'll
just
just do Facebook.
Yeah, well,
Let's do that.
Facebook and YouTube, and then we'll post it later to Instagram. Sorry, Instagram.
Thank you.
I don't know why it's not working. Yeah, we can leave it on, but they're only going to hear my side. Okay, so with that said, hello everyone. Sorry about that, Instagram. Okay, so I have a guest today, and my guest today is Adrian Petian. trying. It's a Canadian thing from Caru Pet Food, and Caru has been kind enough to be one of the sponsors for our Tampa Naturally Healthy Pets experience. And unfortunately, Adrian, you guys aren't able to come to the event.
We're not able to join, unfortunately.
Yeah,
And
so
we have some conflicts.
event, but they still wanted to sponsor, and we so appreciative that you're willing to help us out. And we carry some of your products, and we absolutely love them. They're very popular, and so we wanted to get more information from you about Caru, particularly since you're not going to be able to be there live to talk to people at the event. So first of all, tell us. Everybody has a story of why, because you're a medical professional, but you now have another career as a pet food maker, manufacturer, seller.
Manufactured, correct.
So there's got to be a reason why.
There is, and thank you for the opportunity, Dr. Judy. So we were running, Pamela, my wife, and I were running a healthcare center in Canada, and this was in our local community. And we were really trying to do good healthcare. So we had a team of about 30 professionals, doctor,
Wow.
family docs, nurse practitioners, counselors, the whole gamut, working crazy hours. And we thought we'd really love to have a dog. Well, why don't we get a therapy dog? Well, what kind of therapy dog? Well, everybody loves Goldens. So we got a Golden. And well, what do we call the dog? So when we were looking for a name, we came across the Welsh word Caru, which means to belong or to love. And we thought, perfect name for a therapy dog. And we spelt his name, the dog's name, with a K just to be different. So Caru came into existence. And before we could get him working, he had chronic ear infections and all the signs of allergies. So our vet, good enough, said, you should home cook. So we started
Nice.
home cooking and didn't want to keep doing that for the life of the pet. And we couldn't find anything as good as what we were making at home in the industry, but we came across the Tetra Pak format. And so with the collaboration of a PhD nutritionist, well known, we ended up formulating some good food and treats. And that's how Caru came into being.
So it was all because of a dog with ear infections.
Correct.
Which I think that there are a lot of people that don't realize that chronic ear infections are a sign of bad nutrition that is not agreeing with the animal. And we see it so much. And it's just amazing how many times all we need to do is get the animals on a real food diet instead of a highly processed kibble with a lot of synthetics, and poof, ear infections disappear.
Exactly. That's what ended up happening. I mean, we ended up making wholesome, all natural, healthy, nutritious ingredients. His ear infections cleared up. He became a whole lot more playful and a whole lot healthier. So
Oh, sure.
exactly what you say. Indeed.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So, so Caru stands for to love, which is
Mhm.
great. And I have Welsh background, so I absolutely love that. So what is your nutritional approach at Caru Pet Food?
Well, we've taken a science-based approach to feline and canine nutrition, really based on some of the latest nutritional information. And our belief is that dogs are omnivores and should be fed a diet that is made up of moderate protein levels, along with fruits and veggies. And, high meat diets are perfect for cats. We know they're obligate carnivores. But when we specifically talk about dogs, this moderate diet has a number of benefits. Great for weight control, because we know that about 50% of dogs and cats in North America are overweight. Good for kidney health, because by avoiding the negative adverse effects that high levels of protein can have on pets' kidney and body. And of course, it's great for sustainability. So we went with two lines of dog food made with just the right amount of moderate protein and the right balance of veggies, fruit, and fat, so that the dog gets all the vitamins and minerals that are required. Add the close to perfect ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids, and really that provides a great foundation for longevity, happiness, and health of pets. And that really leads us to our next major innovation. Dr. Judy, we were the first in North America to put wet pet food, human grade, in a Tetra Pak. And that was a huge nutritional advancement over pet grade food. Again, nutritious, exactly what you say, healthy, good stuff. Well, our next leading advancement is really functional, balanced omega blend diets, which have a positive effect on the immune system and is great for both cats and dogs. So kind of we took that and we looked at saying, it's all about balance. It's not just about making sure they get one type of ingredient over another. It's got to be a nice balance, just like with people's health. So that's kind of the approach we've taken. And so far it seems to work quite well.
Yeah, I mean, we know for a fact that the highly processed kibble foods and feed grade foods, the omega-6 to 3 ratio is so out of whack. And AFCO says 30 to 1 is absolutely fine. And we don't want it to be anywhere near that. The lower we get that, I mean, we do need omega-6s in the diet, but we need to have those omega-3s for their anti-inflammatory effects, for the joint health, the heart health, the brain health, the nerve health, which is why we end up adding omega-3, whether it's from algae or krill or plankton or fish, so often, because so many foods are so out of whack with that. Their omega-6 to 3 is just really high. So what are you aiming for in this new, so this is a new line of food that has a higher omega-3?
It's an enhanced line of food. I mean, we know that fat gets a bad rap generally with people's health and pet health, and fat shouldn't. You need essential fatty acids like the omega-6 and omega-3 in the right balance. So as you said, ratios of 10 to 1, omega-6 to 1, 3, or 20 to 1, or sometimes even higher. And we know that if we get appropriate levels in the range, more desirable range of 5 to 1 omega-6 to omega-1, omega-3, that tends to be much better. And I mean, it's the same with people health. I studied years ago, I studied about omegas. And if you went to a life extensionist, they would actually promote a balance of 1 to 1. And
Wow.
just like pets, humans too get far too much omega-6. Omega-6 is great when you have inflammation, when you have an infection, and you need the hormones to be released that are pro-inflammatory, which is what omega-6 does. But when you have too much of that, that leads to this chronic low-grade body inflammation with potentially the associated health risks. We know that allergy type symptoms, joint problems, skin and coat, overweight, obesity, even cognitive issues are now being attributed to Alzheimer's. I just read an article about Alzheimer's being related to an imbalance of omega-6. So we strive for at least a 5 to 1, because we know when you have a therapeutic dose at that level, it's not just label candy. It actually is therapeutic.
Yeah.
And when we get to that dose, it's actually been shown to have a blunting effect on the chronic low-grade inflammation, and been shown to improve those conditions that I just mentioned, those health conditions, which if left untreated, cause all sorts of, as you well know, all sorts of serious lasting health problems.
Yeah, which is interesting because our focus this week on our social media is hospice and palliative care. So really talking about our senior pets and the chronic inflammation and chronic degeneration and cognitive problems and all the things that we see as our pets are aging and have been fed the wrong things for such an extended period of time. So it's interesting because some of the big pet food companies, I won't name names, they're putting out diets that they say are either prescription or, going to cure brain problems, whatever. And the only thing they're doing is lowering that ratio that we're talking about, except they're not doing it in a way, like if you take a fish oil and then you put that in a highly processed food at high heat, you end up with rancid fish oil. And it's not going to solve the problem.
Well, that's a good point, Dr. Judy. And in fact, we've been asked, well, why is there too much omega-6 in pet food. And exactly what you say, a great number of people feed kibble. Well, the kibbling process, the high temperatures, pressures, and short cook times burn off those key essential fatty acids, which leads to this imbalance and to the associated health risks. Then, of course, we have livestock that are fed grains. Now, grains are high in omega-6, so they don't eat enough omega-3. They get too much omega-6, further contributes to the balance, and not to kind of leave it all on the nutrition of what we feed our pets, but having high red meat diets, especially those meat diets that are high in fat, because it's a cheaper cut for pet food, so kind of people gravitate to that. They too have this higher amount of omega-6. All of that causes problems. And then, of course, as you said, you get these cheap quality ingredients. So, it's not any one factor that causes this, but a whole series. And again, it's over the life of the pet. So
Right.
absolutely.
Yeah. So what are you using as your omega-3 source in these foods?
We're using marine microalgae oil. It's cultured. So, and we did that for a number of reasons. First of all, we considered fish oil, salmon, but then you're into a dual protein, and for those pet parents who need a single protein, you have an issue. Plus, we want to look at environmental sustainability. So, overfishing is an issue. So we avoided that. We looked at krill, but of course, krill is, the main sustenance for the Antarctic penguins and whales. So again, we didn't do that. Well, then you get to marine microalgae oil. It's cultured, so you avoid the pollutants, ocean pollutants, so no heavy metals. It's sustainable, so it's very clean. It's good for the environment. It's just a great way to get this into food and provide the quality and amount of omega-3 that you really need.
That's very cool. I like the sustainability, and I like the eco-friendly way to be able to do it. So now this is going into a new line of food, right?
Existing line of food. So we've taken our very, very palatable, high quality dog and cat food lines, and we've added omega 3s, balanced omega blend, marine microalgae oil to all of those foods. And it's also going into our bone broths. So our true classic home style bone broths will have omega 3s. Now, people say, well, what about the omega 6s? Well, when we did all the fatty acid testing, as you would know, you need to do all that to get the right ratios. Because the bone broths come from grass-fed beef, for instance, they're virtually an undetectable amount of omega 6. So we just had the omega-3. So we're really enhancing an existing good quality line that our customers have gotten to know and trust and feed their pets with good palatability. We're just improving on that, enhancing that.
Very cool. Very, very cool. So when is the new line going to be available?
That is the $1 million question. No, we've been battling this for almost 2 years.
Wow.
Costs of ingredients, supply issues, as we had discussed earlier. We expect that the balanced omega blend diets will be coming available sort of the end of the second quarter of this year, and should be fully available by the fourth quarter of this year. So we're it's a running change, using up existing packaging.
Sure.
And going to introduce them then.
And if people wanted to get, I know we have your bone broth that we ship out quite a bit of. If people wanted to buy the food or the treats or your whole line, are they sold online? Are they sold in small pet stores, big pet stores? Where is this product available?
On Amazon and Chewy,
Okay.
petco.com, not in store, but petco.com. And we do sell into pet specialty. We have a number of pet specialty chains. We try to stay away from the big box.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, I mean, yours is an interesting product because with that Tetra Pak, it is shelf stable, but it's a lot easier to work with, to store, to transport than a canned food would be. How your food is a gently cooked food, right?
Gently cooked right in the box. So you retain
Okay.
all the nutritional value. It's slow cooked. They cook it for an hour in the oven, then they turn the oven off and just let it sit there, kind of like slow cooking, which is how we started for Caru. We
Yeah,
have slow cookers, and so very similar process.
very cool. Yeah, I haven't. I took a pet food manufacturing course at Kansas State, and so we learned about how to formulate everything, and had to do an extrusion process with the kibble, and then we also played around with different recipes to make canned foods, and did the same thing where it's basically cooked in the can. We talked about this Tetra packaging. But it was quite a few years ago, and it was just sort of being talked about. I don't think when did you guys start?
We launched in 2014. We were actually the first in it, and then it took several years after that before others started hopping on the bus and riding with us.
Okay. Yeah, that was probably about the time I took the course. I may have taken the course a little bit later, but that was probably pretty close. So, yeah, I think the packaging is very, very cool, because we had thought about doing something at one point. And we were like, okay, well, we're not going to do cans, and I wanted to do glass jars, and then we're like, man, shipping those is a nightmare.
It would be, yeah. Well, the advantage of the Tetra Pak, I mean, it's sustainable packaging. So they plant their own trees, harvest them to make the bulk of the paper in the packaging, and of course, it's BPA free, and it's much lighter than regular cans. So for
Yeah.
those who shop by foot, going into a pet store, you're not lugging a large case of heavy cans. So it really has a number of good advantages.
Well, yeah. And for shipping, because shipping costs are so ridiculous right now. Shipping, like I've ordered cases of canned food, and let me tell you, canned food is ridiculous.
It is.
So yeah, so I love this. I love what you guys are doing, and I'm glad you got the therapy dog, and that the therapy dog had an ear infection, so that you started an entire line of pet food.
Well, thank you. It did change our lives. And again, our goal is to really continuously improve nutrition for the overall health and well-being of pets. They don't live long enough.
All
So
right.
we want them to live as long as possible. And really the work we're doing is not just for those sick pets due to imbalance of omega-6 and 3, but for the overall vitality and health of all
Sure.
pets.
Yeah, and I absolutely love that you have cat products, because it's
Thank you.
hard. It's hard to find high quality cat stuff.
Well,
And
it is.
our kitty cat people always feel left out.
And they deserve the high quality ingredients, the same ingredients that the
Absolutely.
dog owners are finding. So that's how we
Yeah.
set about to do that. So yeah.
Great.
So we're
Great.
excited.
I'm excited too. So, well, we'll see you at Global.
Look
And
forward to
thank
it.
you very, very much for your support. We really appreciate it. And I'm sure everyone will be checking out your products. And we do carry the bone broth on drjudymorgan.com. So you can check it out. And I use your bone broth a lot for making frozen treats for my dogs. So
Mhm.
I'll add,
Great idea.
I add different things to it and have fun with it, and put fruits or veggies or
Blueberries. Yep.
powders, and
Mhm.
yeah, and just add all kinds of fun stuff to it. But they absolutely love it. And if they don't get that treat every night, there is heck to pay in our household.
Well, Dr. Judy Morgan, really appreciate the opportunity to work with you, and you do such wonderful things. So thank you very much, and
Thank you.
look forward to seeing you at Global.
Great. Awesome. Thanks a lot. See the
Take
rest
care.
of you later today.
Bye-bye.